Welcome to Turntable Golf, a system I've devised to help golfers of all capabilities learn to have effective golf swings. Turntable golf is based on the career of Harry Vardon, who burst onto the international golfing scene in 1896 when he won the first of his 6 British Opens. He's very famous for teaching the game as well, and his teachings are, I believe, the best that have ever been. He pioneered the modern golf swing, but he actually advocated 2 types of strokes. One was the classic swing, which it's now called, and the other he called a push stroke, which now may be called a punch stroke or a hitting stroke. But the way that I explain it is through the use of turntables. His classic swinging stroke, you turn the turntable vertical and then angle it cross line to the target line. If you wanted your ball to go this way, you have a vertical turntable, you make it cross line up to 45 degrees, believe it or not, but for most of you around 20 to 25 will do, and for some of you even 5 degrees will do. And then you'd learn to cause the turntable to swing vertically on that cross line without moving the base. The base will follow the independent action of the turntable. And you can see it here with this Lazy Susan on a table. I've turned it vertical, made it cross line about, say, 25 degrees here. And I'm moving the Lazy Susan, but I'm not turning the base. And that is the basis for the classic swing. Now you can see it here with this plane propeller on a base. You could think of this as the plane. I can turn this cross line to my target line, a certain number of degrees, and then I can cause the propeller to spin vertically while the plane or the base remains stable. And then in golf, that plane will follow that motion, not precede it. In the push model, however, the turntable is angled at your intended line of flight. And that's called a straight line model versus a vertical cross line model. So either way works very well. And there's a lot of variations on both themes, especially with the setup and the backswings of some of your better performers. Now, to help you compare those turntables or propellers to the human body, your leading arm is the primary moving part of the turntable. Your chest or your torso is the base. And the right arm acts as a great mover of this turntable or album around this bit. So here I have this line here on this turntable. I've just made it go about 90 degrees to the right. And now it's moving around a bit or a spindle about 180 degrees to the left. That's about a minimum requirement for great golf, is that your left arm be able to rotate or revolve around this spindle at least 90 degrees to the right of you, and then hopefully at least 180 to the left without breaking down. And then, of course, you would try to do that on a cross line for the classic model or on a straight line for the push model. And then the Vardon grip, which he developed and is still used by most of your tour players, is a prerequisite initially to learn both models. It creates a right arm and hand that is perpendicular to the blade of your left arm turntable so that you can drive that narrow blade vertically or on a straight line with a perpendicular broad right arm. And so the grip is very important. And then the knowledge of the blueprints, very important. And Harry Varden himself used to work on about a 45-degree angle for maximum distance. He was the longest, straightest player of his day, and he hit the ball higher than anybody. And everybody remarked he had an upright swing compared to his peers, and much more rhythm and grace. He made it look easy. And if this were your golf club and you had a Varden grip and you created a 90-degree angle here, a 45-degree angle right here, and then tried to drive this hammer vertically on a 45-degree angle compared to your base or your chest, and then faced a target line, and you would turn your base, the whole thing, and raise your arms, and then try to hammer. He tried to hammer a stake 45 degrees to the right of his left shoulder here, right into the ground without altering the pose of his base. And now if you don't have that much range of motion, about 20 to 25 degrees is fine, or even about 5 degrees, just a hammering motion. And this whole left arm and club act like they're on that turntable around the spindle. And then with the push model, he was more compact, and he just aimed this narrow side of this turntable system at his inside target line and just drove it right down that line. And much firmer body, firmer grip, shorter compact swing for the push model, even though you can make it bigger if you want. So I would try them both. It starts with the grip, and with great knowledge that you can have a wonderful vertical swinging action on a cross line that evolves into this wonderful golf through swing that passes through the ball repeatedly with consistent results. And it's, I believe, the easiest way to play golf physically to get the best results possible. And then you can learn to maybe have shorter hammering actions at that line. So it's classic swinging, which is an upright cross line model, or classic pushing or punching, which is a straight line model that tends to be more muscular. Hope you will follow me as I try to explain these things, and I hope I get to meet you in person. Nothing like hands-on experience with good feedback and great trials at either one of these methods. Thank you.